Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Geek Podcast. We are here to review another card at Evolve Auto today. We want to give a shout out to Colin and the folks here at Evolve Auto for letting us play around with some of these cars today. So, Sebastian, what are we looking at today?
Yeah, so this is a 2023 Volkswagen ID.4 Pro S. Now, the Pro S, I think, is the middle trim. I think there's one above it, and then the Pro is the base model. On the outside, just a little cool things. This has actually got a whole light bar on the back, and the Volkswagen logo lights up, although I'm not sure how you got it to light up earlier.
Me neither.
Anyway, it lights up red. It's pretty sweet.
Yep.
It's got nice wheels. What are these? 20-inch. So not 22s or anything crazy. Yep. But getting in is weird. These aren't real door handles. I don't know if you noticed that.
They're not?
No, they're buttons.
Oh, they are.
Anyway.
Didn't know that. I thought you would pull up on them. So, yeah.
No front trunk. We did check. It could have one, but it doesn't. You get a light bar on the front.
You do get a cool light bar in the front.
And Volkswagen logo lights up on it. Overall, though, it's a pretty just basic kind of crossover shape. It's very German, very Volkswagen. It makes sense.
Very Volkswagen. Volkswagen.
Where's the charge port on this thing?
Back passenger.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, you've got your parking sensors on the front.
Got your lights.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really anything exceptional about the Volkswagen on the outside. It's just pretty basic. You got a CCS port, right? Yep. EPA rated on this is 263 miles, I believe. If Siri didn't lie to me, it just beeped for some reason.
Probably because we are taking this out with 20% charge on it.
Oh yeah, so we're gonna have a test drive of this to make sure it doesn't die.
A rear wiper.
Rear wiper.
Yes.
Hyundai, take notes.
Hyundai, Kia, take notes. Rear wiper.
You do get a power trunk on the Pro S, which is nice. And it's actually pretty large.
Yep.
See, that's my bag. We get a underfloor. What?
You get two underfloors.
Two underfloors. Okay.
So it looks like there's a some sort of.
Something.
I think it's a tire mobility kit.
Gotcha.
Oh
yeah, no spare tire.
No
of
spare
course.
tire. So.
Joel can't get it fixed.
There we go.
There we go.
Looks like you got a net over here too. If you want to put a net across if you're doing groceries and things like that. Stuff to tether the seats down. A small little pocket on the side over here if you need to put like a half-gallon of milk or something like that. And we have auto.
Interesting, it doesn't beep when it closes the trunk.
Yep. So just stay clear. All right, so that is the exterior. We're going to pop on into the interior and kind of give you a tour of that before we take it down the road. All right, we are now inside this 2023 ID.4. We're going to go over the software and tech before we get out on the road. So, Sebastian, walk us through the software and gadgets on this thing.
Yeah, so first thing I notice is there's no start button. You just foot on the brake. Yep. Oh, and the seat is automatically moving. It's telling us we need to have an inspection service performed.
Yes.
Very German.
Yep.
And then it's saying we need to charge because we're at 20%.
Yeah, we're taking this out with only about 20% left. So.
That said, look at the lifetime. It says 8,138 miles, 4.6 miles a kilowatt.
I know. So this thing is.
I mean, it's probably all city driving,
yeah,
but
probably
still.
a lot of city driving on this because that's a high.
Real quick, because I have the key. Very basic. You don't get a whole lot of functions, and it's like weirdly capacitive.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of capacitive functions and buttons in this vehicle. I don't know how I feel about it.
Yep.
Just kind of to start off, the steering wheel. These aren't real buttons. They like vibrate when you touch them, and you like
haptic?
swipe.
Are they almost like haptic? Or
Yeah. And they like swipe to adjust. It's interesting. But you do get some configurability on the gauge cluster. You can have your speed in the middle, driver's assistance on the left, trip on the right, just driver's assistance and speed, or speed and trip. So not super customizable, but you get some options. Going through here, you get a wireless charger, and it's actually got like a clip, so I guess it holds your phone in, which is cool.
Yep.
2 cup holders. It's pretty basic in here.
Yep.
It's very Spartan.
Yep.
The seats are comfortable.
Yep. I'm assuming that's like your camera control for your eyes down there. Maybe.
I don't know.
It's a weird looking.
It's a weird spot for something.
Yep.
You get, so again, bunch of capacitive buttons. All of this is, so to adjust temperature, you swipe.
It seems to be kind of difficult to do if you were driving.
Yeah, and I don't know if they fixed it, but I remember on early ID.4s, people complained these weren't backlit.
Yeah,
so you couldn't see them at night.
Ah.
You also get volume, which
Yep.
apparently it's on. Whoops. Menu. Check surrounding area and be prepared to brake. Okay. Interesting. I'm gonna close out of that.
Yep.
Climate is your climate controls. You've got smart climate and then classic climate. I don't know
Not
which.
climate.
Yeah,
Climate.
I don't quite know what this is. I don't really want to mess with it because I don't want it to start ripping fans and then you won't be able to hear us.
Yep.
What's under settings? Automatic air circ. Okay. It does have heated steering wheel and heated seats, which is nice, and you can actually get to it from right. Actually, can
So
you?
no
get to it
cold
right there?
seats, just heated.
No cold seats.
Okay.
Maybe you can't get to it from just right there. I thought you would be able to just tap here to turn on. It's interesting.
Now you turned off all
Seems
the air,
like
and we're gonna fry.
Yeah, I don't know how I did that. It says it's on.
It's back on.
Okay,
There
it
we
just
go.
took it
Yeah.
a second.
Yep.
So, I'm not trying to be overly critical,
Mhm.
but in the little bit we've poked around on this so far, it is not super intuitive.
Yeah, it takes a few seconds to once you hit a button for it to kind of figure out what it wants to do.
And to figure out what you're doing.
Yep.
And earlier I put it in reverse and the backup camera didn't come up.
Okay.
So that's not awesome.
Uh-huh.
So you can swipe down. Okay, you get some like brightness settings and
Audio
guidance stuff.
home.
Cool.
You can set your garage door opener.
cool. You do have built-in nav and it route plans.
It does route plan, which is cool.
So let's go to Austin, Texas
Again,
again.
we'll be at Electrify Expo in Austin coming up in November. So come find us.
It will route plan, and I believe if I hit start.
The next stopover is on the limited access
Think
road.
about it. Boom,
Please
gives us
turn
chargers.
right at
Tells
end
you
of
the
the
chargers
road
right there.
onto
And you can
traffic
actually-
spot 365.
You can actually
Your route has multiple necessary charging
please
stops.
stop it. Please
So
stop
it has
it.
us stopping at it's a Whataburger, one at Electrify America in Jefferson, an EVgo and Flying J, and Electrify America at Walmart. So 4 stops gets us there at 10:07, but we are again at 20% charge.
But I appreciate that it actually lets
Yeah.
us know where we're stopping.
Mhm.
We
And
just did
it
a
lets
video.
you know very similar how long you're gonna have to stay there for.
Yeah, we just did a video of this F-150 Lightning over here, and
Mhm.
you couldn't actually see where you were going to start. It would do route planning, but it wouldn't
didn't
tell you where.
Yep, wouldn't tell you where you're going.
So I'm just going to close out of that because I don't want it to talk the whole time. Go back home. Otherwise, I mean, this is kind of your basic. You get your charging screen. You do get to actually set a charge limit to 80%, which is good. You can set kind of your locations, so home and work or whatever. And then you've got some stuff in your battery care mode. It's just its way of saying it's going to keep it at 80% for as long as it can, whatever. You can actually reduce charging current, which is nice. And then whether or not you want to unlock the connector automatically. So this is for AC. So there's a button to release on the outside.
Mhm.
And so on AC charging, you probably don't care if it's locked in because you're probably at home.
Mhm.
So that's what that's for. Oh. All right, so Kim went through the apps. You can get here to get kind of your apps, and it gives you just your basic. You got radio, media, navigation, which is where you do have a vehicle settings option.
FYI, we changed it to the red color. That's not the standard color that's on there.
Oh, I actually didn't realize I did
Yeah.
that.
We were playing with it earlier, so
It does say 2 messages. Oh, this is, I think it's probably mileage based.
Yep,
They
so-
want you to go to the dealer because Legacy Auto.
probably 8,000 miles since it has 8,000 miles.
And then saying we need to charge. It's got
Need to charge,
37 miles. Let's see. You get interior, exterior. There's a bunch of options in here for like, there's apparently it does a lighting animation.
Mhm.
I didn't know that. You get entry, exit lighting, mirror stuff, synchronized mirror adjustment. Okay. Tires. I do appreciate it lets you actually program your own TPMS. You don't have to have a special dealer tool or anything.
Mhm.
See, headlights, dynamic cornering, turn on time. Cool. All that's good stuff.
Yep.
Interior gets a whole bunch of random business. You get your trip computer. This is roof, so it has power sunshade, so you can actually do it from the screen. You also have a button on the roof to adjust it, but we'll go ahead and just give it.
So it's not a solid shade. You do get some light that still comes in, which is kind of cool.
And you can actually stop it anywhere along the thing.
Yeah.
Which
So
is
if you
pretty
have
cool.
kids in the back or baby in the back and you just want to cover them, you can do that.
There's not a whole lot more interesting on the interior settings here. You get some interior lighting. You can adjust the brightness of it, whatever.
There's not a lot of settings to play around and mess around with.
You do have this where you can actually set it to turn on the climate control at certain times, which is nice. And then you have a bunch of ambient lighting stuff. So right now we're on Euphoria. I guess
So,
that's
yeah,
what changed it to red.
Yeah, let's change to different colors.
What's blue?
There we go.
Ooh, desire.
Desire.
Vitality.
Vitality, yes.
Automatic.
Yeah, so it just picks your flavor of the day.
Yeah, I like yellow.
I like vitality.
All right. I mean, other than that, it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward.
We have the software. I guess that's where you get your software information from.
Does it over-the-air update? Do you know?
I have no idea.
I have no idea. Let's see. Nope, I'm assuming not.
Yep. There's nowhere we can update it with. So.
Oh yeah, and it does have all the driver assistance features. So you've got forward collision, you've got adaptive cruise, and it has a lot of options for distance. You've got lane change assist, and you can come in here and it gives you even more crap. Adaptive cruise, lane keeping system, lane assist, side assist, road sign,
Dynamic road
which that
sign.
does the whole speed alert, and I'm not interested in
if
that.
it drops down, it goes beep beep, and if it goes up, it goes beep beep.
Front emergency braking, and I believe you were in here and you saw steering wheel vibration. Maybe it wasn't that one. Was it this one? I thought we saw somewhere. Oh, travel assist. Assisted lane change.
Yeah,
we'll have to try that out.
Yep.
Assuming we don't run out of charge before.
Yeah, we shouldn't.
But otherwise, I mean, let's go. Before we get to a start, the shifter's a little weird.
Shifter is up here. Yes.
You twist it forward for drive.
It's like a bop it. Twist it, turn it, bop it.
Backwards for reverse.
Yep.
There's our camera. So we got a rear view camera, and it looks like we've got just parking sensors.
Mhm.
Interesting. We got some different views. You can change the saturation. That's a weird amount of adjustment.
Mhm.
You can turn off the boops. Cool. Maneuver braking for traffic alert. What does that do? To exit the space, use the left or right turn signal.
So that was the parking feature we tried earlier.
Okay.
Yep.
But anyway, it's pretty straightforward, pretty
Mhm.
neat. Put it in park, you press on the end, and it automatically turns on the parking brake when it does it.
Gotcha.
So it makes me wonder if this has a parking pole or if it just uses the brakes. But anyway, you want to take it for a drive?
Yeah, I'll take it for a drive. We're gonna
Okay.
swap off, take it for a drive.
All right, so Joel, have you driven this yet?
Very short distance.
It actually does have a start-stop button on the side of the steering wheel column. That's interesting. I wonder.
We've never used it.
Yeah, you just put your foot on the brake to start it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Like he said, I want to use the paddle, and it's not there, so it's turn to drive. That's right.
so yeah.
So let's take this up. Get it off the microphone.
Now, I don't know, if I remember right, the ID.4 does not do one-pedal driving.
It did not. No. Like I'm off the pedal right now, and we are moving.
Which is interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just a Volkswagen thing
Yeah.
or if it's an ID.4 thing. I wonder if like the ID Buzz will have it. It does have some good power for it to be at 19%.
Yep. Yeah. See, I'm off the brake, and it doesn't.
Yeah, and
there's
there's no
re-
slowdown.
There's no
at
regen or nothing.
all. Interesting.
Got my phone flying around and everything.
Electric motors did make a nice little, nice noise though.
We're gonna.
Hold on.
That's gonna have to move. All right. So I'm going to up here get on the see what it's like on the freeway.
Just kind of immediately notice there's some definite road noise.
Yeah, there's road noise.
And this vehicle only has 8,000 miles on it.
Yep.
So, I mean, that's fine.
Mhm.
It's kind of it's more of a crossover. It's not like it's a luxury vehicle or
Yep.
anything, but it is noticeable.
Yep.
Let's see. I don't know if it's hard for me to tell if it's crashy or if it's just a road.
It's probably the road. It feels similar. The suspension feels similar to a Model Y.
Yeah, which I mean, the Model Y is pretty crashy.
Yeah.
So, Joel, what's your thoughts so far?
Well, considering that this car in a few months will qualify because it is a 2023, so it won't qualify for the tax credit until 2025, and this car will come in under that $25,000 tax credit. So considering you could probably get this car for $19,000 with 8,000 miles on it for 2023. I mean, for a used vehicle for $19,000, I think that's even $20,000. I think that's a steal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this isn't like a $50,000, $100,000 F-150 like we just did, but you know, if for someone who wants to get into transition into an electric vehicle as their first car out of a gas car, it doesn't need all the high tech and all those features. I think it'd be a great simple car for them.
Yeah, so I haven't driven it, but it just, for me, it kind of feels like a gas car. Like, it kind of behaves like a gas
It
car.
drives and feels like gas. Now it does
keep.
It does keep at the red lights.
I actually think that was a setting in here.
It was.
Auto hold. Yep.
So it does keep at the red lights. And I can't see out the back mirror, but now I can.
It is. I mean, there is a lot. I don't know if you can see. I'm 6 foot tall. There is a ton of space in front of this thing. And the screen went black. Did you do that?
I think I may have hit it on yes. All right. Now, if you guys know that Volkswagen has gotten some kind of flack for their software issues and things like that.
And from what I understand, the kind of refresh ID.4 that came out for 2024, 2025, I can't remember which one,
Yep.
is pretty vastly improved.
Yep.
Over the system that is in this one. Ambulance.
Ambulance and bikers. All right, continue. What we'll do is we'll up here, we'll pop out Sebastian. We'll switch at the turnaround.
Okay.
We'll take it down the freeway.
Oh no, it fully
restarted.
Restarted.
So, yep.
All right then. Glad I didn't stop recording yet.
Yep.
Huh. All right, we are merging out on the highway. Let's see how this thing feels at 20% on the interstate.
Yep. Let's see if I get into like beep 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 beep. Go charge your car, which we'll only drive like a mile or two.
Oh yeah,
down
and
the
we can
road
see if
here.
we can figure out how to turn on the driver's assist because it says it does it.
All right, so we are.
I mean, it does seem to have good power for to be at a low state of charge.
All right, so I guess we're going to start this. Main switch is deactivated. Main switch is deactivated. Set. Main switch is deactivated. Please activate the main switch.
It's at the top right. Oh, okay, that made a button come up in the bottom.
Yep. So it's doing cruise. Not so much lane assist. Actually, it is.
What is that bottom on the bottom right?
Travel assist is selected.
Okay.
All right.
I just noticed, I don't know if the camera can see it. You've got your blind spot light is on the inside of the mirror there.
Yes, it is.
Interesting.
There's the lane keep.
So out here on the highway, suspension definitely is smoother.
Yep.
I mean, the road is smoother as well, but I mean, it feels like it kind of floats a little bit more out here. So, how do you feel about the driver's assistance that it just did?
I mean, it's okay. I mean, it's very standard to other like gasoline powered cars. So
makes me wonder how it would handle the lane change that it claims it can do.
yeah. I'll pop off the lane assist here.
You do get, by the way, this is important for EVs, the glove box. Ow.
That will hit your knees if you're 6 feet tall.
Let's see. Look around the back real quick. Hey, Joel. You've got decent sized room back here in the back. I'm assuming you've got a cup holder in that rear center vent armrest, and you do get vents. So, I mean, that's it's nice for sure. It's one of those spots that a lot of these.
All right, so I figured it out.
Figured it out?
Lane assist is on at 67 miles an hour. My hands are off the wheel.
Let's see. Is it actually?
It says driver take over steering.
Okay, so it wants your hand on the wheel.
Didn't like that. It lasted about 10 seconds.
So it is not a hands-free system.
Nope.
Good to know.
All right, we're going to get off here and kind of switch over. Drivers. So it's weird on having regen braking on your car.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's get pulled over.
Yes.
All right.
Well, we're back. We started recording. We had to cool the car down for a minute, so we didn't want to hear that fan. So, all right, Sebastian is behind the wheel now.
All right, so you
Pop
twist it.
Twist it. Pop it.
Oh, what is B? Is B one pedal?
I don't know.
Let's find out. All right. Get out of here.
Well, why would B be one pedal?
I guess B for braking.
Let off, see what happens.
Maybe Maybe we're not going at a high enough speed. Maybe it's one of those that cuts off at a certain. Let this car come through.
All right.
Let's see,
Let's
cut
stop.
off. Okay, it is doing one pedal. It's not
Okay.
very strong though.
So the B on the dash or on the gauge cluster is for one pedal driving.
Oh, and it creeps still.
Yep, and it creeps.
It actually rolled back, which is interesting. Alright.
So like we kind of said earlier, it does drive like a internal combustion engine car. That's how I felt it when I drove it. It felt like driving a normal gas powered car, but it is all electric.
I do appreciate the gauge cluster isn't like actually attached to the column, so you can always see it.
Mhm.
And I mean, it's very easy to read.
Yeah.
For someone getting into an EV for the first time, it will feel familiar.
Yeah, I
which is
will
good.
say in my wife's EV6, I have to position the steering wheel a certain way to see the entire gauge cluster, which is not the ideal view for me, but that's where I got to keep it at to see the gauge cluster. All right.
All right, I'm gonna get out on the highway. I'm gonna try to see if I can turn the travel assist on in less button presses.
Yes.
All right, I do really like the blind spot monitor being actually kind of right there.
Yep.
It's better than the kind of dot that you get with the Teslas. All right, so we're doing 65. So is it this button?
Yeah, I guess. I don't remember what buttons I hit.
Adaptive cruise is selected.
And then at the top, I hit the top, or then I hit the set button. Maybe.
Travel assist is selected. Why are we?
Because they hit
It
the
is
set.
not.
You gotta hit the set button.
Oh,
And it set it.
okay.
Yeah. I never hit the set button before.
Interesting. So we got to keep our hand on the wheel. I do kind of want to know. It said it would do lane assist. Interesting. That car might be too close to the front of us.
But it didn't beep, so.
It didn't beep or anything. Yeah, I mean, it just drives like a gas car.
Yeah.
It's got some noise, road noise out here, but it rides pretty well on the highway.
Yeah, it's a soft ride, comfort ride. I mean, the seats are fine.
Yeah, I mean, I think the seats would be fine. I think for a road trip.
Yeah, I'm
it's not
6'2", and I can stretch my legs the entire way out, which is nice when traveling long
And you
distance.
still got good room behind you.
And there's still room behind us, yep.
All right, we are Adaptive Cruise Works. We're doing 54 now.
Yep, we got a bunch of slow cars in front of us. So kind of in here, we have some... Camera doesn't want to move for me. There we go. All right. Your standard glove box. You should mean your standard center console. So we have the cup holder, phone. And charge thing does hold your phone in. Two cup holders. Yeah, nothing. I mean, the plastic, none of the buttons. This doesn't feel. But like you said, where this is not a top of the line car. This is not going to be luxury.
Right.
This is going to be someone who's wanting to get an EV at a relatively decent price, especially at the used market right now. Like I said, this one you can probably get into with the tax break at around $20,000. Got wood up here.
Bunch of wood. Sorry, Colin.
Had someone hit a piece of wood or something up here, but we steered around it. So yep.
Except for that one.
Except for that one.
I just noticed you got buttons up here too.
So buttons up here. It's an info button.
The connection is being established.
Oh,
To
that's-
cancel the call.
Yeah, sorry, that's one of the calls.
All right, good to know. I will hit the other one.
There's a wrench up here which we're not going to hit. I guess that's lighted doors up here. You can turn that on. Oh yeah, so the lights come on when the doors come on. You can also work the sunshade from up here too as well. That's on. There, now it's off. I think they touch. Yeah, they touch off and on.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm not usually one to be all. My car has to have buttons.
Yep.
But if you're gonna do buttons, they should click.
Yes.
They shouldn't all just be touch, because at that point, just put it on the screen.
Yeah.
That's kind of one of my only big gripes in this car.
Yep. They're buttons, but they're not buttons.
They're not real,
Yeah, they're buttons, but they're
which
not
makes it
buttons.
harder, in my opinion,
Yeah.
to use when you're not looking.
Yes. Now, if you're just sitting here in a parked car playing with them, yes, it's fine. But to actually push on them,
Yeah, it's doing regen, like
Yep.
it shows it on the screen. It is not doing it very hard at all.
yeah. So it has some minor regen.
Hmm.
I wonder if there's something you can set in the settings that we just didn't
Yeah,
see.
I don't remember seeing it, but that doesn't mean anything.
Yep.
All right. So yeah, overall, I mean, it drives okay.
Yep.
It drives fine. This is a steal, like you said,
Yes,
at that
this is a
$19,000.
steal at a $20,000 mark right now. Like I said, 2023 with only 8,100 miles on it. So yeah,
I don't know if I'd buy one new.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't buy one new. I'd probably buy a used one. But
Uh-huh.
that's just I'm that way with all kind of EVs now. I don't know if I would buy one new.
Yeah.
With the depreciation, I'd probably buy a used one. Mine was bought used. Yours was bought used.
Mine was bought used.
Yep. So
I paid about half the MSRP for mine.
I did not because it was during the pandemic, and I probably paid more than MSRP. But you live, you learn. But yes, probably from here on out, it makes sense to buy.
We've used 5% of the battery driving around.
5%. So we're down to
We're
what,
at 15 now.
15%. All right.
I'll plug this one in when we get there.
We'll have to plug it in. But yeah, quiet ride. I don't hear any like suspension issues or anything like that. That sounds fine.
Which I'd hope not. It's only got 8,000
Yeah,
miles
8,000 miles on it. You want to have a car that you. But even with some of the Rivians, the older the Rivians that we've had and drove around with only 10,000 miles on it, we did hear some creaking and catting with the transmission. So yep.
Yeah, so we're almost back to Evolve. Again, huge thank you, Colin and team, for letting us borrow the car today.
So yeah, if you want to check out any of their cars, go to evolveauto.com. They have a wide selection. I'd say they got about 15 or 20 used EVs in stock right now. Most of them Teslas, but he does have a Bolt. He does have this ID.4. He does have a that F-150 Platinum. So yes, wide selection of cars. Oh, and the Nissan Leaf too. Still has
still got the Leaf.
Still has the $6,000 Nissan Leaf, which we reviewed. So yeah. So I could see someone, like I said, I could see someone who's transitioning from a gas car into an EV could do it in here with no problems.
Yeah, this would feel familiar.
You would feel familiar. You're not have to worry about too much. You're not going to get overwhelmed with the tech like you would in a Tesla or a car like that. You're not going to get a lot of regen braking, which is weird for a lot of people getting into the EV market. Yeah, the buttons are kind of weird to work when you're driving, but I guess it's something you get into. So you have the different modes here: Eco, Comfort, Sport, Custom.
We'll try out Sport mode once we get back
Yeah.
closer. I'm just curious. I mean, we only got 14%, so I wonder if it'll be power limited any.
Yep.
But it's not like
It may
turbo
not
or
power
anything.
limit. Maybe hopefully it doesn't power limit until 10%.
All right, almost there.
We're almost there. Almost back.
I do like it's showing chargers as we go around. Like
So
you're
yeah, it
saying,
does
there's a
show
level 2 right
you
there.
where some chargers are. That's a level 2 charge. Yes, it tells you it's 6 kilowatt, which is also cool. So there's a 200 kilowatt one up there, the one at Franklin. So he has a 4.8 one. So I like how it tells you the actual.
I wonder
watt.
where it's getting its data from.
True. I wonder if it's pulling from I don't know, PlugShare or ABRP
Or is it just something Volkswagen put in there when the car was new
Yep.
and it won't stay updated?
Yep.
I don't know.
Yep.
All right, straight away. No one
Well,
around.
actually think
It's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's at 14%, so that
Yep.
might be part of it.
Yep.
But it's okay.
it's not going to throw you in the back of the seat like a Model 3 Performance would or anything like that. But once again, this is not going to compete with the Model 3 Performance.
But hey, unlike the F-150 Lightning, I bet it can make a U-turn.
We can make a U-turn, I bet. I think that was driver error last time.
Okay, fine.
I think we could have made the U-turn.
I think you're going to have a hard time doing it in a full-size truck, period.
Yep. See that? See that? Can we do it? Oh yeah.
yeah,
Easily.
easy. Shoot,
Easy.
almost got in the other lane.
Easy. You turn it back into the other lane. Yep. All right, we're gonna give you our final thoughts once we get back here to park. See you all in a bit. All right, we are back at Evolve Auto. So final thoughts, Sebastian.
Yeah, so I mean, ID.4, I kind of always assumed was a pretty basic EV. It's nice EV, but doesn't do a lot of the high-tech fancy stuff. It's a very traditional car,
Mhm.
and I was right, and that's
Mhm.
not a bad thing. This is kind of perfect. Volkswagen knows their audience. The typical people that buy Jettas and Tiguan's and whatever else Volkswagen makes, I can't remember off the top of my head.
Atlas.
Atlas,
Yep.
they're very kind of just boring is not a nice word. Boring has negative connotation, but it's okay for a car to be boring.
Yep.
Right? It's an appliance.
Yep.
In the ID.4, you can feel the Volkswagen kind of coming out there. It's very basic. I mean, it's perfect for someone who doesn't want something.
Now this
like
is
that.
pre-refresh, right?
This is the pre-refresh
So
model.
this is the 2023. They refreshed into 2024, new software and things like that. So yeah.
But I mean, it drives like an EV, but it's tuned back.
Yep.
So it feels more traditional.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yep. All right, we want to thank you all for joining us today. Don't forget before you leave to hit that, go to our YouTube channel and subscribe and hit that notification icon, and we will see y'all guys and gals back on another episode. So long, everyone.